What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We've got four more Club World Cup games to go over. Big wins, late drama, and even a shock for Real Madrid. Let's break down who won, how it went, and how it matched my predictions. And we're going to be talking about the games for today and for the second round for my predictions. So for Man City versus Wydad Casablanca, Man City dominated from the start. Foden scored inside 2 minutes, followed by Jeremy Doku with a well-earned goal from a corner just before halftime. Despite an early red card to Rico Lewis, City's defensive control remained clear right through the second half. Ryan Cherki also impressed on debut as City flexed their squad strength. Also, Rodri came back, so that was a big up for Man City. Compared to my prediction, as you can see here, it's basically perfect. For the Real Madrid versus Al-Hilal game, it was a draw 1-1. Real Madrid took the lead with a sharp counter-attack goal from Gonzalo Garcia, but Ruben Neves leveled before halftime with a calm penalty for Al-Hilal. Real Madrid had a late chance to win it, Valverde's penalty in stoppage time, but it was saved by Bono, leaving both sides sharing the points. Compared to my predictions, that actually wasn't expected. I expected Real Madrid to win that one. My predictions can still happen if Red Bull Salzburg beats Al-Hilal and Real Madrid wins against everyone in the group. So I think it's looking pretty good still. Still only one game in. So for the Red Bull Salzburg versus Pachuca game, it was 2-1 and the match was interrupted by storms. Karim Onisiwo scored the decisive winner in the 76th minute to clinch it for Salzburg. Pachuca fought hard and even found a net, but Salzburg held their composure to take the win. A strong showing from the youngsters under adverse conditions. Compared to my predictions, I expected Pachuca to lose that one. I don't think Pachuca can win against anybody in this group, if I'm being honest. Al-Ain versus Juventus. Juventus won 5-0. Juventus saw no mercy. 5 unanswered goals wiped out Al-Ain with complete control. They looked sharp, ruthless, and clearly too much for the Emirati side. The Al-Ain defense really just did nothing. They were just standing there like cones, and Juventus just walked past them. Compared to my predictions, again, this is pretty accurate to what I said in my predictions and what I think is going to happen. So if you saw the video yesterday that I posted, I said Juventus was going to win 3-0. So this is really accurate compared to what I said. So now I'm going to give my predictions on match day 2 or the games all the way until Sunday. So I think for Palmeiras versus Al-Ahly, to be accurate to my predictions, which I predicted Palmeiras to be first, Al-Ahly second, Porto third, and Inter Miami at fourth. I'm going to say Palmeiras wins 2-1. For Inter Miami against Porto, I think here ties 1-1. For Group B, it's a little bit more interesting because I think Seattle Sounders is really gonna not put up a fight against Atletico, and it's just gonna be 3-0 Atletico. It's because of squad depth and overall squad strength. Atletico Madrid is just the better team, and this is the logical win, I think. PSG versus Botafogo, I believe that PSG are going to win like 4-2. Yeah, that's how I see match day 2 happening for Group B. For Group C, I see Benfica destroying Auckland City like 6-0 and Bayern Munich beating Boca Juniors 2-1. And that's how I see Group C going for match day 2. I think it's pretty logical. Benfica has way better squad depth than Auckland City, and they're not much weaker than Bayern, and Bayern won 10-0. So I think there's a logic there. Yeah. For Bayern Munich versus Boca Juniors, I think it's going to be a similar score to Boca Juniors versus Benfica. So, but I think Bayern Munich is a bit stronger than Benfica, so I see that happening. And that's how it looks. For Group D, we have Flamengo versus Chelsea and Los Angeles versus Esperance Tunis. For Flamengo versus Chelsea, this is a hard one, but I see Flamengo coming out on top on a 1-0 victory. I think both sides are going to be really defensive. That's just how I see that going. Might be an underdog, but Flamengo might be an underdog, but it's just how I see it. Los LAFC versus Esperance de Tunis. I think Los Angeles beats them like 2-1, maybe. And that looks a lot like my predictions. For Group E, Inter versus Red Diamonds. I think Red Diamonds is gonna be beaten by a lot, if I'm gonna be honest, because River Plate won against Red Diamonds 3-1, and Inter is way stronger than River Plate. So I'm just gonna say it's gonna be like 4-1. For River Plate versus Monterrey, it's a hard game. It's two very strong Central America and South America sides, but I really think River Plate, with all of their squad, I think they just win overall. So 1-0, I'd say. But that's how I see Group E going for Matchday 2. For Group F, I think that Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund. Sundowns is gonna get smacked by Dortmund. I just think it's gonna be really far from what people are saying, because I don't see much strength on the Sundown side. So I'm gonna say 3-0 Dortmund. And for Fluminense versus Olsen HD, bro, Olsen HD is like one of the worst teams I think I've seen play so far. I really think that it's gonna be like 3-1. That's how I see Group F going. For Group G, we have Juventus versus Wydad Casablanca and Man City versus Al-Ain. For Juventus versus Wydad Casablanca, I can't lie, Wydad Casablanca also looked, I mean, they were threatening but to Man City, but they really couldn't finish like at all, so I don't think they're gonna score any goals in this match. I think it's gonna be 2-0, just like Man City. I think that's how I see that going. Man City versus Al-Ain, is that really a question? I mean, Man City, Juventus won against them 5-0. Man City are gonna obliterate them. I think it's gonna be like 6-1, maybe. I think it's gonna be like that, yeah. So that's how I see Group G going for Matchday 2. So until Sunday. For Group H, Real Madrid versus Pachuca. This game did happen late 2024, and they won 3-0. They already had Mbappe. I think it's not going to change much. I think it's going to be 2-1. That's how I see that game going. And Red Bull Salzburg versus Al-Hilal. I think that Red Bull Salzburg gets the upset here, and they're gonna beat Al-Hilal 1-0. I think it's gonna be a very defensive battle between both sides, and I think that Red Bull Salzburg just has overall better finishing. Again, the only goal that Al-Hilal scored against Real Madrid so far was a penalty. So they have really good attacking power. They just don't have the finishing with them. And that's a problem. I think that's what's going to cost them against Red Bull Salzburg. So, yeah, that's how I see match day 2 going. So that's it for today's recap and my predictions. Drop your thoughts and your predictions in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdowns. See you after match day 2.